Hi, I'm Angela Remeika with the Bucknell University Podsquad. Today we have the unique privilege of being joined by Dr. Benjamin Barber, an internationally renowned democracy scholar and commentator, here to deliver the third lecture in the Citizen and Politics in America lecture series, with a special focus on the media influence. Dr. Barber will be delivering a lecture entitled, "The News as Commodity in an Interdependent World, Can Citizenship Survive?" So welcome, Dr. Barber, to Bucknell.
Thanks. Delighted to be here.
Great. First, I'd like to ask you, what motivates your commitment to democracy and civic life in general?
Ultimately, I think what motivates all of us, the realization that unless we are empowered to have some control over our own lives, we're not going to be very happy and we're not going to lead very good lives. So that it's kind of selfish. In order for us to be free and to be empowered, we've got to be engaged in democracy. And people who don't see that are actually disempowering themselves, which doesn't make any sense to me.
And secondly, I understand you had a chance to meet with Bucknell students today. What major issues did you talk about specifically?
Well, we talked about a lot of things. It was a very smart and engaged group of students. We started talking about Facebook and the private life and the way in which Facebook is that a good thing, a bad thing? Does it prevent people from being engaged with a larger world of strangers? Does it prevent people from being political? And we moved from there to talking about politics of fear. Does fear cripple liberty? The real nature of freedom, the necessity for a liberal arts college to actually teach the arts of liberty, how to be free, civic education, and the degree to which students at Bucknell felt that was happening or not happening. In the end, we talked about the kind of optimism or pessimism that goes with realizing how tough a place the world is to get on in and figuring out what we can do as individuals, as students, as teachers to change that world and create a more empowering world for ourselves and our families.
Excellent. And what do you think your central message will be of your talk tonight to convey to the Bucknell audience you'll be speaking to?
Well, I'm going to try to help make sense out of the world we live in, but in the end it's about if we're going to change it, if we're going to be more engaged and empowered and get more from it, then you, students at Bucknell, the younger generation is going to really have to take responsibility. What I said here at the beginning is my generation may have screwed it up, and it may be our fault, but you're going to have to fix it because you have to live in it. So it means taking some responsibility for it and finding ways to make a difference. Sometimes it's as an educator, maybe in politics, maybe in culture, maybe in law, but finding ways to take responsibility for the world we live in.
And lastly, using the example of Rupert Murdoch's recent pending acquisition of the Dow Jones and the Wall Street Journal, do you feel that the American media is becoming too concentrated in the hands of too few?
Yes, the essential feature of a free media is pluralism and diversity. Unfortunately, the U.S. government, through the Federal Communications Act of 1996, has said instead decentralization will lead, privatization will lead to more pluralism. In fact, it's the opposite. It's led to more monopoly. Monopoly is the death of a free press. And having Rupert Murdoch buy the Wall Street Journal, which was the fault of the Wall Street Journal family owners, not just Rupert Murdoch, is really a disaster for not just the American media, but for American democracy.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. That's all for now.